Hi there, I'm Matt from Burton Waters Boat Sales here in Lincoln, and welcome to the latest video of one of our stock boats. It's another Merry Fisher 1095, and this time a Flybridge version. This is the fourth 1095 that we've had in this year. We've done really well with them, been very popular. They pack so much in for a boat that's just under 35 feet. So let me show you on board. The first thing to point out is that it's a Legend version, so it means it's got the blue hull. And as one of our stock boats, it's been in our workshops here in Lincoln, had a full cut and polish, and the bottom's been antifouled as well. Really stands out in the blue and it's in lovely condition. Next thing to show you is this side gate on the starboard side. It makes getting on and off the boat so much easier. Before we step into the cockpit area, first thing to point out is you've got a pair of Yamaha 300 horsepower outboards, which is the largest option available on this model. The engine hour is about 70 as well, so very, very low, and they'll be serviced by our workshops as well. As we move into the cockpit, a really good sized cockpit area in here. It does have the full cockpit enclosure as well, so on the not so nice days or when you're leaving the boat for a period of time, you can enclose this area off. And then of course you've got the bimini to offer a bit of shade from the sun. You've got the teak option, so it's real teak on this model, and it not only runs on the cockpit floor but it also goes up the side deck and all the way around the bow area as well. The upholstery is in lovely condition, as you'd expect. And this aft seat does move forward, so whenever you leave the boat for a period of time, you leave your outboards in the raised position, and it means there's no growth on the props. We'll move inside first of all before going up onto the Flybridge. So on the port side you've got your saloon area. The upholstery is in lovely condition, and this area does convert into a double berth when needed. And you've also got this backrest here which moves backwards and acts as a co-pilot bench for when you're underway. Your galley's on the starboard side. First of all, it's got the upgraded Corian worktops. And then just underneath here, you've got your 2-burner gas hob. And there's also a sink with hot and cold water. And just beneath the counter, you've got your fridge. Really good sized fridge on here. And there's tons of storage on this boat as well. So tons of storage beneath the counter. There's also some underneath the aft saloon seating and also underneath the saloon flooring. The boat is fitted with Webasto diesel heating, which runs throughout the boat. So there's outlets out here, but also in each cabin as well. Moving on to the helm of the Merry Fisher 1095 now. First of all, it's very well laid out. Everything's very usable. Controls fall nicely to hand. It's got the Raymarine Axiom touchscreen chart plotter fitted on here. And you've also got the autopilot as well. And you've got the Fusion audio system that runs throughout. This boat's very easy to handle. It's got both a bow and a stern thruster fitted, which is very nice for a boat this size. Makes it as easy as possible. And it's also got the upgraded Zipwake trim tabs as well. Of course, this is the Flybridge model, so you can drive from up on the top. But if you wanted to drive from the lower helm, you have got this side door, so it allows a lot of ventilation in. And if you were manoeuvring in the marina, you can get out. You've got a midships cleat very close by the door. If we head down now into your accommodation, so up the front you've got your master cabin, and you've got a really good sized double berth in here, and the bed does extend out, so if you're a little bit taller you can pull the bed out and there's an infill cushion to make it into a longer berth. And then just beneath the bed you've got some storage as well. As well as the storage beneath the bed, before Fred goes away, there's some storage lockers overhead as well, and there's also a hanging locker over on the starboard side. It's lovely and light in here. It's got an opening hatch as well as a skylight as well, and there's a TV fitted in this forward cabin as well. Just moving on to your second cabin. So you've got a really good sized double berth in there. There's a bit of standing headroom at the end of the bed. I'm 6'2" and can just squeeze in there. And there is a bit of storage in there. There's a little hanging locker and there's a little cubby holes in there as well. So this boat is brilliant. It's 34.5 feet long and it has actually got the option to have a third cabin. Now this boat doesn't have the mattress in there. It's something that could easily be added from Jeanneau. So if you needed it, if you've got lots of kids, so that can easily be turned into a third cabin. One of the big pluses of this boat over the Merry Fisher 895, the smaller version in the range, is it actually has a separate shower compartment. So it's great if you're spending a week on board. Just gives that a little bit more usability. You've also got an electric toilet in there, which goes into a holding tank, and of course you've got your sink with hot and cold water. So if we head up onto the side deck now. So you've got an asymmetric deck on the Merry Fisher 1095. So on the port side, you've got a relatively narrow deck, but you've got a really nice side deck on the starboard side. Grab rails that come all the way back to the cockpit. And as I mentioned earlier, you've got the teak that runs both in the cockpit and also up to the foredeck as well. And then up the front, you've got your electric windlass with all your anchoring kit as well. And there is a nice little storage locker up the front as well. And now we'll head up onto the Flybridge. Okay, so we're going to head up onto the Flybridge now. So you can see you've got your ladder to access there. If you weren't using the Flybridge area, this ladder actually stores away. And there's a bracket just by my shoes there where it can store away quite nicely. And also overhead, you've actually got this a camera. It's a reversing camera which is fed into your chart plotter. So it makes visibility even better. So if you are short-handed, so you can see the pontoon as you're coming into more. So moving up onto the Flybridge now, everything at the helm is replicated from the lower helm. The biggest difference is you've got a smaller chart plotter than what's located down below, but you've still got your autopilot and your thrusters and also your Zipwake trim tab controls as well. It's a really nice space up here to drive from up here, whether you're doing your boating on the inland waterways, which will give you great visibility over the banks, but also if you're at sea, it's a great driving position from up here. And you've got a really nice seating area. There's a table that comes up here as well. But you've also got this lovely sun pad area as well. This particular model's actually had some extended bars on top of the rails, just to add a bit more security on top and a bit more of a grab rail. They can be removed if not needed. This boat's a 2021 build, 2022 model, and it's priced at $209,950. As I mentioned earlier, it's one of our stock boats. It's been in the workshops and had a full cut and polish. Bottom's been anti-fouled, and the engines will be serviced as well. We'll also look at a part exchange, so if you're trading up or coming all the way and trading down, we'll be happy to have a chat about it. This boat can also be financed as well, so if you need any finance quotes, we're happy to supply them.